Hi guys, welcome to Code with Namnit. So today we are going to discuss about the consistent hashing. In previous video, we discussed about load balancer and caching. So when we talk about load balancer, we discuss it. Okay, load balancer is something called which is balance the load between the servers and the database. And caching is one of the technique where you can access the fast. Okay, but why consistent hashing? Like suppose अगर हम बात करें कि हमारे पास एक ही डेटाबेस है, एक ही सर्वर है, you are talking, you are one request will come, it will go to the server and it will go to the database. Okay, so like we discuss. Okay. We have something called request. It will go to your cache server, or you can say app server or something like that, and then it will go to the database. So this is fine, but it is a single point of failure because you don't know when it got crashed. Okay, we don't know, right? Now suppose the problem is if you want to scale up, then what will happen? If you want to scale up, the problem with this is you may need more thing. So suppose you will have this client request. Okay, this client request will go and it will go to the one database here and one app server, sorry, or we can say client servers or cache servers or app servers, whatever you want to say, you can say it, and those things again will go to the database. Now this is, you have multiple databases. Okay, now this is going, what will happen, how will you split it? Like suppose, so you need a hashing kind of thing right here. So there is a request id, you just okay, sorry, so there is a something called hash function. So this is hash function, you have request id, you will get something and you stored here. So for this hash id is different id1, and for this id2, and you are storing it. So whenever you want to access, you can access it, right? So this is something called simple hashing technique. Now what will happen if you have multiple, how do you know like which cache server hold the which thing? So you have multiple, right? Here you have multiple, how do you know which request will go there? So you have to know with some way, right? So the hashing is one of the thing. So hashing is one of the thing, with that you can do that. Now what will happen when you do hashing, right? Then what will happen? So after hashing, what will you do? So there is a client. Okay, there is a client request, there is a client request, and which you did hash, and with this hash, so what will happen? Suppose we have a, the hash value is like uh, Navneet, Shailen, and Vinod. So we have this three. So this will go and store into the database. Three different databases are there and they will store. So this is basic hashing. But again, there is a problem in this hashing. What happens if one of the server will go down? Then what will you do? So you have to have some technique, right? So what will you do is like there is a problem with this is, we have like suppose we have three, right? So right now we will talk about it. Okay, so there is a, two things we will do it. So suppose we have three servers. So first, this hash key, so you did hash key modulated by 3. So what will happen? Three databases are there, it will go here, it will go here, and it will go here. Then suppose you have added one more, so hash key modulated by 4, then your request will go to 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is the way, that time you have 4. Now dependency is like suppose this will go down, then this become modulated by 2, and if you add one more, then it will become modulated by 5. The problem here is, if something is go down and something is getting increased, what will you do? The load again increase, like This will go down, then it is modulated by 2. Since this is go down right now, so it will be modulated by 2. The load is increase here and here. Okay, then if you added something here, then the load is decreased. So you don't know how the load is increasing and decreasing, right? You have to have some kind of technique where you should know, okay, my load balancing load my load distributed in my system is consistent. So that's why consistent hashing will come into the picture. In that, what will you do? You still do the hashing. The thing is that it will be in circular form. So in this case, what will happen? Okay, so suppose this is A, this is B, this is C. So like if any request down here and any request will come here, and any request will come here, what will happen? So now suppose any request will come here, we will think about it will go clockwise. So the request will come here and it will store the data here. If it comes here, the data will store here. If it comes here, the data will store here. Now what will happen if suppose okay, we'll go up. So what will happen? As we know, okay, there is a ring. I'll make it a bit really smaller. So okay, what will happen? So here we know, here one thing is there, this comes here, this comes here, and these are going to store here and here and here. Now what will happen if this will go down? Okay, then what will happen? The half of the load will come here in this database, and suppose this will go down, or suppose we have uh, one more database here and like this, and what will happen if this will go down? Then again all data will go here. So that way the load is got increased. Again the problem will come in the same way, like okay, our data is still inconsistent hashing, we know it will not lose, but what will happen? The load is still. So this guy has suppose 20% load, but this guy got 80% load, and your loads and your balancer can, or your data can access only 50%. It should have 50%, but it is having 80%, right? So that's the problem. How will you solve this? So practically data is not distributed uniformly, right? How will you do that? Even though it is not uniform, but we can say approximately uniform, or we can say okay, somewhere down the line it should have a similar kind of concept. How do we so this kind of thing, right? So this kind of uh, so this kind of place will become hotspot. Okay, how will we remove the hotspots? How can we ensure that our data should be properly uniform? So what we can do is we will create a ring like this. Okay, should make it small. So then this, then this, then this. So like that. So what we can do is we will have A, B, C, C, A, B, C, and we will have again B here. So what we can do is we will create a replicas of our replicas of our server in ring. So in this ring we will have a multiple replicas. We can say it's virtual replicas. Okay, virtual replicas. So when we create it, what will happen? If suppose this B will go down, right? You still have a B here, and the data will come and store in C. Still, if C is go down, it will come into this C. And by the time you will add any things, and you can do this. So adding, removing is very easy here, and still the load is uniformly distributed, because you have to have, like you have a replica, right? It will go to B. So if it is not there, then it will go and pick from here. So you will have some kind of technique with this. So that's why when you're trying to scale up your system in a horizontal way, you have to have consistent hashing kind of system where you can access it. You can access the database, you can split the data, you can use your server in such optimized way. So with that, there is no load on a particularly one server, or any, like, it's not like it's not become hotspot and everybody, the load will be got distributed. So yeah, that's it for the consistent hashing. Please let me know your comments, and if you have any doubts and if you have any questions, please ask to me. I will reply back on comment. Yeah, thank you very much. Bye bye.